I want you to win. Don't ever let me go.
How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday. I did not have my screen on. I look horrible. I got in late last night from Puerto Rico. Really awesome culture there, really great people, fun times. I would encourage you if you ever get a chance. It is beautiful. And the weather was awesome. I went to the Future of Real Estate event, and it was fascinating, specifically the AI section that I will talk to y'all on another call. But yeah, I mean, what AI can do outside of us just giving it task is going to be a mindset shift for all of us. So look forward to going down that path with y'all. A lot of them we're talking about AI assistants. So how can you line up an AI assistant for certain roles so that you can get out front in relationship with more people? So it was really cool to hear. There's one guy already doing it, and I'm going to kind of go down a deep dive with him to learn more on that. So, how can y'all? The whole point of AI is how can you use it to get into relationship with more people and get all the minutia off of you so that you can go talk to more and serve more people. So anyway, it was really good, and I'll bring some more notes back on that. I hope everybody's had a great week. Today, I want to talk. We're still in shift talking about creative financing. I have Miss Patricia on the call today, and she is going to talk to us a little bit about transferring equity, bridge loans, and then I'm going to mention. She's also going to talk about recasting, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about buy before you sell programs. So, Patricia, are you on?
Yes, ma'am, I am here. Good
Good
morning, everyone.
morning. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Thank you so much. So, yes, let's talk about some creative financing. We'll start with the equity transfers. Let me just kind of let you know pretty much the meaning of equity transfer. That basically means that your client rather is using the money from their current home to help them buy their next home. So that's basically you're transferring the equity. It's like, let's just say, for instance, when you have your client and they're wanting to, and they basically saved up or have their home, and their equity can actually be used to go toward the purchase of their next home. So instead of them starting from scratch, like trying to save money, they can actually use the equity from their current home to help leverage and purchase their new one. So that is a way that they can actually utilize that money with utilize their equity without trying to save money and come up with their own down payment for their next home. So that is equity transfer.
Yeah,
Now
and I like, oh,
you
sorry, Patricia. I like
go
to
ahead.
say this too. Like, if we're talking about somebody that has a lot of equity in their house, and hopefully y'all know how to find that, but there's all kinds of ways to be able to see if a property has a lot of equity. But Scott describes it as, do you want to unlock? Do you want to unlock some of your equity, right? And then
Mhm.
transfer it. So number one, you got to access and unlock it, and then number two, transfer it to use for a secondary purchase or the next purchase. Sorry, go ahead.
You're fine. You're fine. Okay. And then we're going to talk about bridge loans a little bit. Bridge loans is kind of similar to the same, but it's a little bit different. Bridge loans is basically you're going to use the money to bridge a loan to temporary. Hold on, I'm going to read this first. Let me read this. A bridge loan is a temporary loan that lets you use the equity before the home sales. So, example, if you have someone you're wanting to purchase your home, um, you want to purchase a new home and you want to be able to move into your home without selling your existing home, you can actually use a bridge loan to do that. Use the bridge loan to actually help to purchase your next one. And then once you actually sell your existing home, you can actually pay it off at that point in time. So it basically bridges the gap between you actually purchasing your next home. Does that make sense a little bit?
Yes. What's
Okay.
the difference between a bridge loan and a HELOC?
Bridge loan and a HELOC, they're actually very similar. Very similar. The layout on it works the same. Basically, you're utilizing some of your equity and it is a repayable. So you do have to pay it back on a monthly basis. So it pretty much works the same way.
Are they both
You're basically tapping into your equity.
with the HELOC and the bridge loan? What does that look like for interest rate and payoff?
So, okay. So I'll say this, a couple things. You have a HELOC, you have a home equity loan, and then you have a home equity line of credit. So those two are different. The interest rate is running somewhere between 8.5% to 9%. The HELOC, both of them basically the same, but the HELOC you have is an actual loan. So it's a loan amount and you just pay it down just like a installment loan. However, you have the line of credit, which is like a revolving account. So the when you pay it down, it actually replenishes your balance. So those are the two. That's the difference in the two, the HELOC and the home equity. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Anybody have questions about that before we go to recasting? Because I know we're
Hey,
talking about a lot of stuff.
Sandretta, you have a
I
question?
Oh,
do.
Sandra, go ahead.
Great morning, great information. So glad
Okay.
I'm on here. So like what's the benefit of using one over the other, the HELOC over the bridge loan? Like is it the interest rate? Is it the terms to pay back? Like
The
what would
interest
be the benefit?
The interest rate can be a little bit different on the as it relates to the bridge loan and the HELOC. I'll say this as it relates to us on Wells as it relates to how we handle it here at New American. Now, my HELOCs are slick, easy to do. Basically, we put the information in and on the HELOC, you can actually get funding within 5 to 7 days. I had a couple of people here that actually utilized our HELOC product. Bridge loan, it may just take a little bit longer as it relates to the processing part on it. The rates, I would say, would pretty much be comparison of each other. So it's just the timing of it based on my experience when I've done a bridge loan versus the HELOC. The HELOC, I can move it really quickly.
But the HELOC, you only have to pay interest on it, right?
Yes, that is correct. The
So
HELOC,
you
you
can
only
move it
pay interest.
quickly and you can pay interest on it. So it
Oh,
versus
that's the benefit.
versus
Hmm.
That's beneficial.
so
Yes.
it's
Hey,
go ahead. Yep.
Sarah.
Sorry.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a bridge loan can also only be used on the purchase of another property, right? And a HELOC can,
You
there's a
can
lot
use it for
more.
anything. Yes,
Correct.
that is correct. Yes. The HELOC, you can use it toward anything. You can for personal use, for, you know, tuition, whatever. But yes, you're absolutely right, Scott. That is correct. For the bridge loan, it has to be for the purpose of another property.
And then I
So,
have one more question.
Mhm.
So as far as how would you determine how much equity is in a home? Would you need a realtor to run a market analysis on that, or do y'all have a system to do that?
so I've
Yes.
got oh go ahead, Patricia, go for it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I use So Go Home Hub, y'all, has equity, and then obviously Scott has some stuff that we use that pulls equity. So we already have access to tools that can show you how much equity is in somebody's house, because the text, essentially, just so y'all understand this, the data is, let's say it's mined through, it's searched through. So if you put 1234 Main Street, it's going to mine through the data. It'll tell you what quote unquote the home's worth, and then it'll tell you the equity in the home. And now keep in mind, this is general information. It's not, might not be 100% accurate, but at least you have a general gauge of, all right, they have 50% equity in their home, or they have 70% equity in their home. So they may be able to unlock this to do either a HELOC or a bridge loan to get them into another house, giving them 5 months to sell their house or whatever.
And the reason why I asked that, Sarah, and I'm gonna shut up, that's another touch. That's
Yep.
another touch, just going back to your clients or helping people that want to invest or helping lenders. That's a
Correct.
touch.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that they actually have equity in their property. So and how you determine the equity, basically it's what your home is worth versus what you owe on it, or what your outstanding balance on it. The difference between the two is the equity. And again, a lot of people don't know that they have equity and that they can actually tap into it and utilize it for whatever. And as it relates to even purchasing a new home or what have you. So
Like, this is the best talk track, y'all, for open houses. Like, put your QR code up for Home Hubs, Go Home Hubs. And then, because what do most people in the open house tell you? Somebody unmute yourself. What do they tell you when they come through the front door? They're just what?
They're just looking.
looking,
Okay.
They're not interested in buying.
And what do y'all typically say when you go to a department store when we used to do that? What would you say?
Same
just
thing. I'm
looking.
just looking. I don't need no help.
Yeah, perfect. I just I want you to go take a look at the house, and then when you come back, I'm then gonna ask them a few questions. Are y'all just looking because you're wanting to do some upgrades and want to get just a view on what's being put in the house? Are you a neighbor? Because if you're interested in doing upgrades, you may have a lot of equity in your home. Does anybody run an equity analysis? They're going to tell you they're doing upgrades and they want to get you out of the way, or they're going to tell you they're looking for a home. So instead of stopping at just looking, just curious, are you looking to see what the finishes are, and are you interested in doing some upgrades to your home? And then that unlocks a whole different conversation, because I know you're not interested in selling right now, but I can get a consultant out there that's a designer. Let's make sure you get the right finishes in your house, and let's look at your equity position and see if you can do a HELOC and tap into some of that equity, unless you're paying cash. This is a wealth building conversation. This is totally different than I just want to list and buy today. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yes, it does.
Patricia, I don't think we're going to hit on, maybe next week we'll hit on recasting, and then
Okay.
I'll do some buy before you sell products.
Okay.
Yeah, so
It's
Tijuana,
easy.
the ways to do it is you can get it through Go Home Hub. And if y'all don't know how to get access to Go Home Hub, please contact the office and they can get you access to that really easy, because it's free. All you got to do is put a landing page, i.e. a QR code, have your QR code up so that the customer can scan it. And then once they're in your system, they're getting emails with their home appreciation and home equity reports. The difference between Go Home Hubs and Command is only going to send you the comparables that have sold in the area. It's not going to pull equity. And you really want to talk equity when you're talking about wealth and unlocking equity for, bridge loan or HELOC. So when y'all go into listing appointments, instead of going in with marketing, if I'm going to look at this as a strategic play, like, hey, I know about all of these different creative financing methods, and I want to hit on a few of these with you. And I also need to know, if you have a lot of equity in your home, like, let's look at some options here so that we can either update your house a little bit and get you more money, or we can use a HELOC or bridge loan, get you in another house, and then give us some time so that we don't have to take a low ball offer. Any other questions about this before we wrap up? Let's see if there's any other thing. Was this helpful?
Absolutely. Great stuff. Thank you, Patricia. Thanks.
Y'all, I'm going to keep hitting on this because I think we typically look at traditional buying and selling of real estate and we just look at like, how can we get them approved or how can we put a sign in the yard? And the goal is how can we talk in terms of equity, wealth building, right? On one side, how can we do creative financing on one side or, on the other? So I want to make sure y'all, this helps you stand out versus everybody else. So if y'all do not have access to the Go Home Hub, feel free to send the office a message, to send them a text. They can get you access to it. It's super easy to use. And then y'all can run it through that way. But I mean, Go Home Hub is sending me equity reports because I had Linda set me up on one. So I'm seeing everything it's sending me, and it's fairly accurate. So it's a pretty awesome tool. All right, Miss Patricia, we'll hit on what am I trying to say? Not forecasting, recasting
Recasting.
next week. We'll hit on recasting next week, and then we'll also hit on buy before you sell products as well. So hopefully this was helpful. Y'all make it a good one. Make it count. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.